Welcome, tech enthusiasts and AI aficionados, to another mind-bending episode of Navigating the AI Frontier. I'm Mark, your friendly neighborhood AI cartographer.
And I'm Tom, the Sherpa guiding you through the treacherous peaks and valleys of the GenAI landscape. Today, we're embarking on a journey that would make even Indiana Jones jealous.
That's right, Tom. We're not just hunting for the holy grail of AI. We're mapping the entire Temple of Doom. I mean, technological advancements. So grab your fedora and bullwhip, because we're about to crack the code on mapping potential technological advancements in the world of generative AI startups. All right, Tom, let's kick things off with a question that would make even Nostradamus scratch his head. How can GenAI startups predict the future of technology?
Well, Mark, if I had a nickel for every startup that claimed to have a foolproof crystal ball, I'd be able to fund my own AI research lab. But since we're not in the business of fortune-telling, we've got something even better. Wardley Mapping.
Ah yes, the Wardley Map, the Swiss Army knife of strategic planning. It's like GPS for your startup, but instead of telling you to turn left in 500 feet, it's saying invest in quantum computing before your competitors do. Speaking of treasure hunts, Mark, what's the first step in this grand adventure of mapping potential advancements?
Well, Tom, it's all about identifying those shiny new technologies on the horizon. Think of it as spotting the glint of buried treasure in the distance. We're talking about things like advanced natural language processing, multimodal AI systems, or even quantum machine learning algorithms.
Quantum machine learning. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. In a world where Schrodinger's cat codes in Python?
Ha! I'd watch that movie. But seriously, these emerging technologies are like the uncharted territories on our map. They're usually positioned on the left side of the Wardley Map's evolution axis, indicating their "here be dragons" status.
All right, so we've spotted our treasure. What's next, Captain Jack Sparrow of the AICs?
Yar, matey. Next, we need to assess the impact of these technologies on our value chain. It's like predicting how a butterfly flapping its wings in Silicon Valley might cause a hurricane in your startup's business model.
Oh, I love a good chaos theory reference in the morning. Can you give us an example?
Sure thing. Imagine a breakthrough in transfer learning that dramatically reduces the data needed to train AI models. Suddenly, your massive data acquisition pipeline might become as obsolete as a floppy disk at a blockchain conference.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt for all those data hoarders out there. So we're basically playing a high-stakes game of connect the dots on our Wardley map?
Exactly. And the prize for winning isn't just a pretty picture. It's staying ahead of the curve in the cutthroat world of GenAI startups.
All right, Mark. We've identified our tech treasures and assessed their impact. But not all that glitters is gold, right? How do we know if a technology is ready for prime time?
Ah, Tom, you've hit on a crucial point. We need to find the Goldilocks zone of technological readiness. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right.
I'm picturing Goldilocks breaking into the Three Bears AI lab now. This neural network is too big, this one is too small, but this quantum computer is just right.
Ha! Exactly. And you know, a wise AI researcher once said, "The key to successful R&D in AI is not just identifying promising technologies, but understanding when they're ready for real-world application. Timing is everything."
Sounds like something Yoda would say if he were a data scientist. Ready or ready not, there is no try.
May the data be with you, Tom. On our Wardley Map, we represent this readiness by positioning more mature technologies further to the right on the evolution axis. It's like watching your tech babies grow up and move out of the R&D lab.
All right, Mark. We've got our tech treasures. We've assessed their impact, and we've determined their readiness. But these technologies don't exist in a vacuum, do they?
No, they certainly don't, Tom. In fact, they're more like partners in an intricate technological tango. One step forward in hardware acceleration might lead to a twirl in AI model complexity, which could then dip into new AI applications.
So, we're basically running a high-tech dance studio on our Wardley map, dancing with the AI stars, if you will.
Exactly. And just like in dancing, timing and coordination are everything. Our Wardley Map needs to capture these relationships, showing how movement in one area can set off a chain reaction across the entire dance floor. I mean, value chain.
I'm picturing a conga line of AI technologies now. GPT leads to DALL-E. DALL-E leads to multimodal AI. Multimodal AI leads to suffering. Wait, no, that's Yoda again.
Easy there, Padawan. Let's leave the dark side out of this. The point is, understanding these interdependencies is crucial for a holistic R&D strategy. It's not just about mastering one dance move, it's about choreographing the entire performance.
All right, Mark, we've mapped out our technological tango. But what about those unexpected dance-offs? You know, the disruptors that crash the party and change the whole game?
Ah, Tom, now you're talking about the M. Night Shyamalan twist of the tech world. Anticipating potential disruptors and game-changing innovations is like trying to predict the next viral TikTok dance. Challenging, but crucial.
So we're basically trying to be the tech equivalent of Miss Cleo? Call me now for your free AI reading.
Well, it's a bit more scientific than that, but I like where your head's at. It requires a potent cocktail of deep domain knowledge, creative thinking, and continuous market sensing. On our Wardley Map, we might represent these potential disruptors as speculative components positioned far to the left of the evolution axis.
Ah, the Here Be Dragons section of our map. So how do we indicate their potential impact? Dragon footprints across the map?
Close. We use arrows to show how these speculative technologies could potentially impact multiple existing components. It's like showing the blast radius of a dragon's fire breath, if you will.
Now that's a Wardley map I'd frame and hang on my wall. Beware of quantum dragons in Sector 7G. All right, Tom, it's time to put on our decoder rings and dive into the Wardley map we've created for our hypothetical GenAI startup, focusing on natural language processing. Are you ready to navigate this cartographic masterpiece?
Ready as I'll ever be, Mark. Though I must say, this map looks more complex than the plot of Inception. Are we going to need to go 3 levels deep to understand it?
No need for dream-sharing technology here, Tom. Let's break it down piece by piece. First, notice how we have established technologies like transformer models positioned towards the right of the map. These are like the reliable old guard of our NLP world.
Ah, yes, the Gandalfs of the AI world. Wise, powerful, and with impressive facial hair. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Exactly. Now, if we look towards the left, we see emerging technologies like few-shot learning and neurosymbolic AI. These are our up-and-coming heroes, full of potential, but still finding their footing.
So, they're like the AI equivalent of a superhero origin story? With great computing power comes great responsibility?
You're not far off, Tom. And then, way out on the left, we have our speculative components like quantum NLP algorithms. These are the wild cards, the potential game changers that could rewrite the rules of the game.
Ah, the Tony Starks of the AI world. Brilliant, unpredictable, and potentially world-altering. So, what's the verdict from this map? Are we in the end game now?
Well, according to our Wardley Map assessment, our startup is well positioned in the current NLP landscape. But here's the kicker. They need to balance optimizing existing technologies with investing in emerging fields to stay competitive in the long run.
So, it's less Avengers Endgame and more Avengers Infinity War. The battle is far from over, and the next big threat could come from anywhere?
Precisely. The map suggests focusing on enhancing data pipelines, advancing few-shot learning, and strategically exploring quantum NLP and neurosymbolic AI to stay ahead of potential disruptions.
Sounds like our startup needs to assemble its own AI Avengers team. NLP processors, assemble.
Well, folks, we've journeyed through the complex landscape of mapping potential technological advancements in GenAI. We've identified emerging tech treasures, assessed their impact, evaluated their readiness, understood their interdependencies, and even anticipated potential disruptors, all while avoiding quantum dragons and assembling our AI Avengers.
Indeed, Mark. We've seen that in the world of GenAI, Your Wardley Map is never truly finished. It's more like a living, breathing document that evolves as rapidly as the technology itself. Kind of like a Tamagotchi, but infinitely more complex and slightly less demanding when it comes to feeding schedules.
Absolutely, Tom. And on that note, we encourage all our listeners to keep their Wardley Maps updated, use them to spot opportunities, align their R&D investments, and foster a culture of continuous learning. Remember, in the fast-paced world of GenAI, strategic mapping could be the difference between leading the Avengers or getting snapped out of existence by Thanos. I mean, your competitors.